they're gonna choose the lowest hanging fruit to insult something that they don't know. That's the sort of narrative that people just go to. It's a go-to. It's like when you wake up in the morning and you just brush your teeth. If you don't know professional wrestling, if you don't know WWE, that's what you're immediately going to say. Oh, it's that fake stuff. Stupid. But I can't get mad at people for not knowing the WWE as well as we do. I can't get mad at people for not knowing professional wrestling to its full extent. The amount of work and conditioning that they do to their bodies just to be able to take bumps and perform for an audience is disrespectful to call it fake. There's a lot that goes into professional wrestling that a normal person, I work 10-12 hours a day, which is why I haven't uploaded a video in like a while. I can tell you, I probably would not be able to handle a wrestler schedule because I know that they probably sleep like 2-3 hours and then they're on their next flight. They can't be normal people and just miss a flight, because what if them missing a flight involves them missing the opportunity to be on live television? And this is their make it or break it moment. They want to get pushed, they have to be on that flight. Or it's a title match, they have to be on the flight. There's a lot of things that go into professional wrestling that I think it's disrespected on a constant basis, and I think the wrestling fandom does not do it justice, because the wrestling fandom, they just hate wrestling so much. They want to go on Twitter and they want to say how much this shit sucks. I'm gonna say shucks. You know what? It came out, I'm just keep it. They just want to shuck on everything that they watch on national television. Yes, I don't like certain stories. Yes, I don't like certain angles. Some wrestlers probably don't get a reaction out of me. But to go on Twitter and to just rage bait, and that's what your account is about. You literally do not do anything for the business. You don't do anything to improve the business. You're catering to a cesspool of the wrestling fandom that is just toxic, and we just hate you, man. We just hate you. And that's the unfortunate part, because everyone outside that doesn't understand professional wrestling, people outside look at us and they're like, they're so fucking weird for liking this. Like, this is for kids. Like, they already make fun of us. You guys don't know what goes behind the scenes. Like, a perfect example is Top Dollar. Yeah, sure, Flop Dollar was funny, but he botched a spot that he normally was able to do. There was a reason why he botched that dive, and it was because he discovered that he had diabetes. Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn, yeah, I was pissed, but I'm not gonna shit on Sami Zayn. It's not his fault. It's Sami Zayn. He deserves that win and he deserves that title. I reacted in the moment, and now look, we got Park Gable, and I'm fucking happy for that. Regardless of that, professional wrestling is freaking cool. It's a performative art. It's entertainment. You guys like Game of Thrones. You guys like reality TV shows. Professional wrestling happens every damn week. This is why professional wrestling is cool, and this is why we stay invested. And if the product isn't good, we just don't watch the product anymore. 2019, I stopped watching it. I stopped watching the WWE in 2019. It was bad. It was bad. I didn't want anything to do with it. The product that they were giving was bad, so I just didn't watch it. 2019 AEW was chef's kisses. I was enjoying myself over there. Obviously, I made my way back because of the Bloodline story, and I'm glad I did, because WWE is doing some of their best work right now. I know this video is about wrestling is cool again, and welcome in, friends. Welcome in. There are going to be some fans that will try to test your knowledge, because that's just what they do, and they sort of gatekeep wrestling. And it is unfortunate to all the new fans that do join. Like, I can only imagine some of the girls that are getting into the WWE, and immediately they're going to be tested whenever they say, oh, I like the WWE. Okay, name your top 5 technical wrestlers of all time. Name 5 different wrestlers from each era. Right now, go. Wrestling etiquette has just gone down the drain, and you know what? This is a wrestling is cool again, but wrestling fandom needs to do better video. Fortunately, we are in a space where people do want to gatekeep, where there is a toxic fan base, and that's with anything. I've been watching since the 90s. I've been watching since the Attitude Era. The first two people that I gravitated towards, also the 2 people that I first saw. It was Lita and Eddie Guerrero. I saw Lita, and this is why professional wrestling is so important in a young person's life. I saw Lita do her moonsault, and I immediately was like, that's cool. She's cool. I want to be like that. I want to be in the ring with the boys wrestling. That's freaking cool. When I saw Eddie, I was immediately captivated by his menace and comedic demeanor. When I first saw Eddie, I was like, I like him. He's authentically himself. And I'm speaking like as if this exactly ran through me and I use these words in my head when I was fucking 12 years old. I saw him and I thought, he lies, he cheats, he steals. But he's honest about this. I like this. And he's funny and he trolls and he's great in the ring. I immediately was hooked because of Lita and Eddie Guerrero. It's important for kids to watch professional wrestling because they find their heroes. Yeah, they're probably not the greatest people. I mean, at least back then. Now I do think that we have a lot of like more upstanding individuals in the WWE. I grew up seeing Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was the one that I was like, he has the ability to make fun of himself. I like that. Like, because I've had so much trauma that I used humor to just like alleviate a lot of stuff that was happening. So when I saw Kurt, I was like, look at him. He's like, he's funny. He's doing a bunch of stupid stuff. And he's okay with that. You have to have a certain mindset to just be able to make a fool out of yourself and just make fun of yourself and make it work and also be a freaking Olympic gold medalist with a broken freaking neck. That's who I saw as like my male role model, which is hilarious because you know what he was doing back then. He was doing a bunch of menace shit. I mean, he told... We don't gotta talk about the, you know, like the bestiality. He did a lot of stupid stuff. But because of him, now I'm able to make fun of myself. I don't take myself too serious. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope if you're still here, yay. But professional wrestling is important because people find their inner being that they want to unleash. You see them as these superheroes. You see them as certain people that you can't even reach because they're in the WWE and they perform in front of thousands, but millions of people are watching them at home, and they're super athletic, and it's just a fucking joy to be a part of this space, regardless of what I said about the fandom. It's just a joy to be a part of this space. And if anybody is new to wrestling and you're watching this video, welcome to one of the best sports community you will find, regardless of all the fluff. I would recommend staying off Twitter and Reddit forums. But if you just meet the right kind of people, it's a community, man. Like, a lot of great content creators out there that don't gatekeep, that are just here for the love of professional wrestling. And we have our opinions. We can disagree on stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not that deep. It's professional wrestling. We all love professional wrestling for what it is. We admire these athletes. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. WrestleMania 40 Night 2 was just greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. I'm glad that I was streaming. I'm glad that I enjoyed that with the community because I never grew up knowing anyone that watched wrestling. And although professional wrestling is predetermined, things can always happen. Things can always change. Matches could get pulled. Jinder Mahal could be trending on Twitter because Tony Khan decided to mention Jinder Mahal in a very disrespectful way. And then he has a match with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we actually believe Jinder Mahal might actually get this. When I first got into the space, even though I was making people laugh and it was cool, I would get invited into certain podcasts, or I saw what most people were doing. And I knew that I was here to make people laugh. I would get invited to certain podcasts and they'd ask me, who are your least favorite wrestlers? If I don't like something, I'll tell you, yeah, I don't really like this. But if you're going to ask me a question about who are your least favorite wrestlers, or which wrestlers do you hate the most, or which wrestlers are overrated? And unfortunately, I took the bait and I made a video about my overrated wrestlers, which I was so new, but I'm not going to make that as an excuse because I still did it. But I did make an overrated video and I knew it was good for engagement, so I did it. And after that one video, I've never done a video like that ever again because it does nothing to improve the business. I'm a professional wrestling fan. I have so much respect for the people that get into the business. It's just not my cup of tea, and I want wrestling to expand. If you're new to wrestling and if you're new to my channel, welcome in. Do not worry. I'm a little feisty. I'm a little menace on my stream, but everybody on my stream that's part of my community knows that I fucking love them. They give it back. I take it more than I dish it, man. A fun environment. It's professional damn wrestling, man. We had some of the worst gimmicks ever, like Eugene and Katie Vick and Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Like, there's been so much bad in professional wrestling that it's cool to just enjoy professional wrestling right now, because arguably we are in one of the best eras, whatever this era is going to be called, which I'm pretty sure it's kind of already being coined as either the Renaissance era or the Triple H era. This era is freaking fantastic, and I'm talking about all of professional wrestling, not just in the WWE. Yes, AEW still needs a little more work, but the product is not bad. I think the tribalism also ruins it. Tribalism also ruins it. If you want to learn more about AEW, if you want to learn more about TNA, if you want to learn more about New Japan, there's a lot of great content creators on TikTok that you can just search. I would recommend Suplex. He's very well informed when it comes to New Japan professional wrestling. And his wrestling, like, he has his hot takes and stuff like that and his opinions, but he's not a gatekeeper. He welcomes people in with open hands, and if you have questions, he can answer them for you. There's a lot of good people in this space, and like, just, I know I ranted about it, but man, I'm just here to say professional wrestling is fucking cool. And if you don't like professional wrestling, and if you just want to be headstrong on, well, professional wrestling is fake and it's not for me, well, I'm just here to tell you to get better.